Hello and welcome to the session on SFX Statistics. My name is Carrie Bartels and I'm a trainer in Ex-Libris North America. In this session we'll be looking at SFX statistics related tools. There are statistics for analyzing SFX usage as well as a tool called UStat that will help you analyze statistics that are provided by your vendors. By the end of this presentation, you'll know how to analyze SFX usage through statistics that are available in the SFX Admin Lite interface, as well as access UStat to analyze vendor-provided usage statistics. So let's look first at how to analyze SFX usage. From the SFX Admin Lite homepage, we'll be working in the Statistics section, and you'll click on the Queries link, and that will give you a list of queries that are available in SFX. SFX has 20 different statistical queries that you can run. And you can set certain parameters for each query. So you have a lot of different ways to analyze your e-resource usage, discover new service needs, as well as perhaps identify potential collection gaps. Before I give an overview of what each of these queries does, I'd like to point out a couple of terms that are used: requests and click-throughs. And you'll see that even in the first query, number of requests and click-throughs per day. SFX measures usage at two different points in the link resolution process. A request is when a user clicks on the SFX button, as we see here in the source database, or in the case of Primo, they click on View Online. A click-through is when a user clicks on a link, and this is a target link actually, in the SFX menu. So the SFX menu displays, they click on a link in that menu, that's considered a click-through. If direct link is turned on, so the user bypasses the SFX menu and goes directly to the full text when they click on the SFX button, or in the case of Primo, the View Online tab, it will count as both one request and also one click-through. The next couple of slides are descriptions of each of the 20 queries that are available in SFX. And the same list is in the accompanying presentation for this recording, so you can refer back to it at any point. For now, I'm just going to cover a few of the reports that may be of interest. The first one we'll take a look at is query number 1, the number of requests and click-throughs per day. This will give you a general sense of overall SFX usage. How many times are people clicking on the SFX button in the source database? Or in the case of Primo, how many times are they clicking on the View Online tab to see the SFX menu? If they see the SFX menu, how many times are they clicking on a link in that menu? The second one we'll take a look at is query number 2, number of requests and click-throughs per source. This will give you a sense of usage by source. So what sources, what databases are users starting their search when they click on the SFX button? Another one we'll look at here is number 7, number of click-throughs per target. This will give you a sense of usage by target. So when the SFX menu displays, which target links are they clicking on? And then number 10, most popular serials selected by target. This will give you a sense of journal usage for all of the journals that are within a target. Number 14, books accessed via SFX ranked by use. This will give you an idea of ebook usage from the SFX menu. Number 16, unused full-text journals. This refers to full-text journals that are not being used. So this could be important. It also could be an indicator that an indexing job called the Rapid Service Indicator indexing job, or RSI for short, needs to be run. And if that may be the case, then you would log a support case and the support team would take a look at it. Number 19, most popular journals. This will give you a sense of what are your most popular journals that users are looking at. Let's take a look at the statistics in the SFX Admin Lite interface. So here is our Admin Lite interface that I've logged into. And from statistics, I'm going to click on the queries link. And we'll take a look at a couple of different queries here. The first one we'll take a look at is query number 1, number of requests and click-throughs per day. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that link. From here, I'm able to set certain parameters about this query. So how do I want to see the totals? Do I want to see them a day by day, listed day by day? Do I want to see them grouped by month or by year? So I'm going to say I want to see the totals grouped by month. Then we have dates to query. And we can select a relative date range, so today's data. Do we want to see the information from yesterday? And in this case, we'll say the information from this year. We can also select a specific date range from here as well. Then we have filters if this is applicable. So you can include or exclude institutes, particular format, user groups, faculty or IP addresses if they are applicable to your SFX instance. And then also the output. How do we want to see this report? We could see it in HTML or have a plain text version where we can perhaps put that into Excel and slice and dice the data in Excel. For now, I'm just going to say HTML. And then for the delivery, we can have the results on the screen here, as we'll actually do in just a moment, or you can have the results emailed. So when I click on email, that's where I can indicate the email address. And when I'm done selecting the criteria, I click on Submit Query. Now for this, I'm just going to have the delivery method as being on the screen. And I'll go ahead and click on Submit Query. Also notice you can schedule this as well. Let's actually take a look at that first. When I click on Schedule, a new window opens. And this is where I can schedule a query to run at a future date or have it run on a recurring basis and then have the results emailed to me. So notice that I can run this query every day or on a particular day of the week, or I can have it run on the first day of the month or another particular day of the month. And I can have it run at a certain time also. And then I can have the results sent to an email address, and I would indicate that email address here. When I click on Submit, that will actually save the query, and it will be scheduled, and it will appear in the Scheduled Queries list area, and I'll show you that in just a moment. For now, though, let me go ahead and click on Submit Query, and we'll take a look at what this report looks like. So here we have it open in a separate window. Let me go ahead and expand this window. So we see the results grouped by month. So here we have January, February, March, and so on. We have the number of requests for each month. Again, a request is when the user clicks on the SFX button in a source database or the View Online tab in Primo. So in January of this year, there were 18 requests. And keep in mind, this is a training server, so the data may be a little low. And then the number of click-throughs, so the SFX menu displayed, how many times do people click on a link in the menu? And that was 8 times. Notice that we have the totals down here at the bottom for the entire year. And then we also have the query parameters. This is just a reminder of what we selected for the parameters for this particular query. So we chose to see this in HTML, have the data grouped by month, and see the data for this year. And also note that we can print this as well. I'm going to go ahead and close this window up, and that takes us back to our Admin Lite statistics area. And let's take a look at another query. I'm going to go back to the query list by clicking on the queries link up here. And let's take a look at query number 7, number of click-throughs per target. So again, just to give you a general sense of the parameters available here, I can see again the total grouped by month or year. And also notice I'll have the total grouped by month for this example. And then I can decide, do I want to see all of the targets? Do I want to see just the top 10, the top 50, or the top 100? And in this case, I'll say all targets. So this, just a reminder for this query, we're looking at the number of click-throughs per target. So the SFX menu has displayed what targets are people clicking on most often from the SFX menu. The dates to query, we're going to say that I want this data for this year. So I'm going to select that as the relative date range. But again, we can select a specific date range if that's applicable. We can apply filters if that's applicable for your SFX instance. And then again, decide on the output, how we want to see this data. And again, I'm just going to select HTML. But we do have the ability to have a plain text format where we can then put that information into Excel. And we also can have it delivered via email. So I'm just going to select to have the data display on the screen. And again, we can schedule this query to run on a recurring basis. For now, I'm going to click on Submit Query. And let me expand the window here. So we see each of the targets listed here. And again, keep in mind this is a training environment. So we have targets that are listed here, and we have the number of click-throughs by month. So January, February, March, April, and so on. It looks like the top target that has been clicked on most often in the SFX menu is MetaPress Baywood Publishing Company, and we see the number of click-throughs here. It looks like it had an all-time high back in August of 13 click-throughs. So where it's displayed in the SFX menu, 13 times users clicked on that link in the SFX menu. Again, we have the total down here at the bottom. And we have a reminder of what parameters we selected for this particular query. So I'll go ahead and close this up. And we go back to our statistics area. The next thing I do want to show you is the scheduled queries list area. This is where any scheduled queries will appear. So I'm going to click on that next. So here we have 2 scheduled queries. And we have an indicator of when they run at. So for query number 1, and these query numbers refer back on the queries page, the numbers here. So query number 1 is the number of requests and click-throughs per day. Query number 6 is top target services shown in the SFX menu. So that's what those numbers refer to in the scheduled queries list. And again, we have an indicator of when each of these runs at. So for each of these, it looks like they run at midnight of the first day of every month. And when I click on either link, the query link or the runs at link, this will give me some details, what parameters were selected for the query. So I can always go back and take a look at that. So it looks like I will receive this in HTML version. I want to see the data from the last previous month, that is. And I'm going to have it sent to this email address. So this might be helpful to schedule a query if you want to see the previous month's data. Maybe you schedule it to run on the 1st of every month, and that will gather then the data from the previous month. I'm going to click on that link again, and that will close up the details. Just a note also that in order to run statistics, a job needs to be run behind the scenes on the server, and it's scheduled to run on a regular basis. Your Ex Libris project team will be scheduling this job on your behalf, but just be aware that there may be a slight lag in the data that you're able to query using statistics, because that job needs to run first in order to get the most up-to-date information. And typically the job will run on a daily basis. But again, there may be just a slight lag in the data that you're able to query here. Going back to the slides. Our last statistics-related topic is for an application called UStat, which is available to you through SFX. I'll be just briefly introducing you to UStat here, as there is more UStat information available to you in the Documentation Center. SFX Statistics provides statistics that rely on SFX transactional data. Now, in addition to this, each of your vendors probably supplies you with usage statistics as well. There are standards out there for both the format of vendor reports as well as the protocols for gathering and transmitting this information. And these standards enabled Ex Libris to create UStat. It's a usage statistics service that allows the collecting and reporting of usage statistics information supplied by vendors who adhere to these standards. This allows you to consolidate reports from various vendors into one place, where you can do the analysis on all of the reports together. And these reports complement the SFX queries that are available in the SFX Admin Lite interface. UStat comes with your SFX subscription, and you can access it from the URL that's listed here. You can register and request a login using the registration link on the UStat login page, and I'll show you that next. So here is an example of the UStat login page. And to register, you would just click on the registration link that appears here. It's a quick registration process where you define your username and password. Once you've registered for UStat, you'll be able to log in through, the URL that we see listed here, and then start using the UStat application. There is more information in the UStat User's Guide that's available in the Documentation Center. And there's also a UStat course that's available in the Learning Center. This brings us to the end of our session. So just to briefly summarize, we looked at how you can analyze SFX usage through statistics that are available through the SFX Admin Lite interface. And we also looked at where you can analyze statistics that are provided by vendors using the UStat application. This is a list of documents that will provide more information on statistics, and these can all be found in the Ex Libris Documentation Center. The best way to learn how the SFX statistics work is to go in, run them, and then see what the results are. That said, the SFX Admin Lite guide as well as the General Users Guide provide a bit more detail than what I've provided in this session. And then additionally, since the data behind the statistics is managed on the server, you may want to refer to the Advanced Users Guide and the System Administration Guide for more information. If you're in a consortium using SFX, you may want to refer to the Using SFX in a Consortium Environment Guide, as it will discuss SFX statistics in a consortium environment. And if you are registered for UStat, you may want to take a look at the UStat Users Guide. Additionally, the UStat course can be accessed from the Learning Center using the Customer Center URL that's listed here. Thanks for watching.